Well, what are we doing? Um, what I'm doing, I actually dove in and started working. Forgot to run the screen grabber, but I suppose fortunately I didn't actually get that far. What I'm doing is uh, I had mentioned in the last video that this hair needs to be changed, and also it probably goes without saying that she needed a nose because she didn't have a nose. So I very laboriously drew that one little tiny line to give her a nose. And that wasn't the important part. The important part was over here because I had to take the nose and parent it to the Akari level so that when she goes flying out of the camera view, which I don't know if she'll do. Yeah, okay. So when she goes moving like that, her nose goes with her. So I don't know about you, but I know that when my head or my body goes somewhere, I always prefer that my nose goes with it. So that's important. So what's the problem? Well, if we go back to this, we actually redid this quite a while ago with the current and correct model of Akari in terms of her face and her hair, but not the coloring of her hair. Her hair. So this shot here is out of date. Anyway, here's the question, and this is the more ornate hair, which of course was originally oriented the other way. So basically, I'm cheating. I'm saying, well, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. What I'm saying is, when we go to this other shot, because as you guys can see, what happens is she flips over right here. What's going on? She flips over. So now we've got Akari flipped over, but it's the wrong hair, and arguably it's actually the wrong head. This girl needs a proper head. I wonder if I can leave that pillow in there actually. Probably asking for trouble. Now the problem is, honestly, what I really want to do, it's tricky. What I really want to do is just swap in the hair. Keep her face and everything else the same. So, what the heck? Let's just see if we can do that. And if we are going to do that, how would we do that? Well, the one thing I know for sure right out of the gate is that we've got to clean up. So the reason we're cheating is, why am I going to redraw this, redo the hair, yada yada yada, when I already did it before? And I think the audience probably will accept the idea that when she flips over, her hair is basically a mirror image of what it had been before. Okay, I got a question here. Why is my eraser? Oh, pressure opacity. Well, that's silly. I don't want pressure opacity. We'll put basic dynamics and see what that does. Yeah, that's better. I think that's better. So it's like I'm erasing, but it's not getting fully erased. It's getting like 80-90% erased. So there's some stuff here that we got to touch up anyway. So we'll just get through the equally laborious process. Okay, I was being facetious before. Drawing her nose was not laborious. It took approximately 2 seconds. However, this is going to be a little more laborious since we're enjoying that word today. Come on, baby. I still don't like I'm still seeing opacity dynamics, but frankly, I don't want to spend a bunch of time figuring it out and chasing it down and tweaking things. In GIMP, I'd rather just say, forget it. we're going to make it work. Okay, so here we have a little bit of a definite, well, okay, I'm dovetailing. When I say make it work, what I mean is it would actually be faster for me to just go through and tighten up the erasing than to spend a bunch of time trying to figure out why the eraser isn't behaving the way I want it to. Okay. That's just one of those philosophical choices. It's kind of like what I'm doing right here. By trying to leverage the picture of Akari, the question must be raised. Well, is it actually faster to try to redo or reuse a shot than it would be to just redo it? And the answer is, I'm not sure. Okay. Now what we need to do here pretty much is go to the smudge tool, and I'm just going to do it like this. So I'm covering up that red line that's just a holdover from the fact that I took a screenshot. I mean, obviously the fact that I'm having to erase this at all is kind of stupid. I should have just taken the screenshot without having that red line in there. Again, it's just faster to do what I'm doing right now than to go back and redo the screenshot. Yada, 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 yada. Okay, so anyway, in OpenTunes, I'm sure this is going to be tweaked and painted some more, but that's okay. At this point, we just need to export it as Akari Sleeping Flipped so that we can bring it into our OpenTunes scene. And if we have to do more painting, we will do so. And GIMP is warning me that there's a picture with unsaved changes. And I'm warning GIMP that, you know what, dude, I don't really care. Okay, so now, here's the rub. This is where we must be bold. Bold, I say. How are we going to be bold? Well, we're going to turn on the eraser and literally just, this is not the hair we want, we're getting rid of it. End of story. You're out of here. You're gone. Will I need her whole face? Is the new hair and or face going to be over or under this shot? I don't know. Don't know yet. Making it up as I go. But the one thing I know is we've got to get this new face, or at least the new hair, into this shot. And what better way to do that than to erase the poor girl's face. So Akari, girl, you beautiful girl, you are faceless at this point. You have lost your face. Now that's rough. You might be thinking, wow, dude, losing your face, that's rough, man. Well, and I'm going to save all, so I'm committed, right? I'm committed. I can't backpedal now. I can't change my mind. Okay, so that's good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this little application that I like called the Fast Stone Image Viewer. And what we're going to do, we're going to grab this here picture and just drag it into here. And we're going to load it. I always load. I never import. I probably am going to regret that one of these days, but that's okay. For the moment, we're just going to kind of roll with the punches here. I think I extended Akari like quite a lot further down. I extended her keyframe farther than I actually needed to, because I knew that this sub-X sheet is coming into another X sheet where there's some translation going on. And I want to make sure it goes long enough before, so that the still image of her extends to the end of the shot. Okay, so now what we got to do is we're using the that's interesting. Okay, here we go. we're going right up to the top, and what we're going to do is we're just going to say, well, geez, you know, it seems to me that her head, it's a little large. Well, here's what I'm going to do, and obviously it is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make it somewhat transparent so that we can then go like this, and we're going to, actually, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and adjust the center. Frankly, the center should be, I think, right there, right in the middle of her, well, in her third eye. So if you're a practitioner of the Eastern mystic arts, then you probably know what a third eye is. Okay, so this is quite useful because we can see how it differs a little bit from the other drawing. Okay, so in order to sort of grok this out, I think I'm going to have to turn off the poor girl's eyes. Okay, actually stop. Hold on for a second. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely going to be tricky. This is one of the things that is actually extra tricky. Because extra tricky. The reason being that what I really want to do is go down here to where the eyes open and then adjust the positioning of her new face so it's in the right place. If I adjust it, you know, here at frame 24, it's going to insert a keyframe. And so then it's going to be in the wrong position at frame 1, but then it's going to animate to the right position at frame whatever, frame 24. So that's a bit problematic. I'm going to go ahead and put this behind. There's definitely some painting gonna have to happen. So the bad news would appear to be that her eyes are going to be in the wrong position. Okay. Which means I may end up having to reanimate her eyes opening, which would really stink because I kind of got those, I got them where I liked them. Okay, yeah, so this is all eye stuff, but the problem is once those eyes open, poof, you can see her head is completely in the wrong position. That's pretty screwed up, actually. Well, if you're a thinking watcher, you're probably thinking, Dave, golly, Dave, just forget it. Why are you even trying to make those? Just redo them. I think I'm gonna. Here's why. Normally I would actually try to salvage it, but the problem is that when I did her eyes, there are some things I did wrong. I really didn't quite know what I was doing. And so I'm thinking, you know what? If I have to redo them, I have to redo them. What's bugging me and what I'm looking at right now is, I see, the eyes are a vector layer. Now if I go look at my schematic, I wonder, the eyes are in a column called vectors. Okay, and vectors are parented to Akari's body, which is good. So it seems to me, what I'm wondering is, the whites of her eyes, the iris, Iris 2 and highlights. Those are also parented to Akari. That's actually problematic. What I really would prefer is for those to be parented to the vector layer, for the simple reason that if I make an adjustment to the vector layer, it would be kind of nice if all the other pieces of her eyes came along for the ride, so to speak. So, as you can see, I can flip that over like that. Then when they pop open, okay, I'm sorry, I've got these layers turned off. Okay, so when these pop open, poof, everything's pretty much going to be in the wrong place. Completely wrong place, actually. So all that work is lost. Boy, I did a lot of tweaking on those. I'm rethinking my decision. I'm actually thinking maybe I would have been better off to actually try to fix what I already had. Fix the hair, in other words. Well, I have no illusions that OpenTunes is going to let me reverse that, but what the heck, we'll give it a try anyway. I don't believe it. Okay. That's a bit of a shock. I did not expect that. But indeed, OpenTunes did let me. And it left the nose in. Okay. So I am changing my mind, people. I am changing my mind. I'm going into this drawing right here, and I'm just going to fix her hair. Wow. Pretty lucky I was able to do that, actually. Okay. Well, if that's the case, if that's the way you're going to be about it, then let's move this up into this screen and make our reference material kind of big, so we can sort of emulate what we had before. I would say, I wonder if I need to, let me see, I'm going to see if I can, what I'm wondering is, this is only one frame, so I'm wondering if I can go ahead and paint into it, or if, like if there's some plastic tool or something going on, it won't let me, I know. Let me hit the B key. Okay. Looks like it's going to let me. So that's good. Then with that, I can peek up here at my reference picture. And see, essentially we have 1, 2, 3. We basically have 3 shades. Here we have, how many shades do we have for the hair? We've only got 2. So let's see. I want to make sure I have the colors correct. Okay, that's not the right one. Okay. So which one? Which one is... Actually, I know. I'm being silly. I need to hit the K key, and then OpenTunes will select the correct shade. Okay. So, okay, that's fine. So we'll say 11 is that, and then we're going to say this is 12. So what is 10? I'm going to make 10 match this, but then make it lighter and less saturated. And I'm going to make 13 Well, wait a minute. 13 might be her flesh tone. I better double check that. Hit the K key. Nope, that's 5. So 13 RGB. Up, that doesn't work. My bad. So we're at 10, 11, 12. Actually, let's just go forward with 10, 11, and 12 at the moment. Okay. So basically, the way I did this, I really just added quite a bit more detail. Okay. So what's going on here? What's going on is Open Tunes. The matter of OpenTunes keeping track of lines and areas is very, very useful. But when you're doing what I'm doing right here, which is basically sort of fine-tuning something to, I know what I need to do. I just thought of the answer. The answer is to insert a tunes raster level. That's the answer. Or I'm sorry, just a plain old raster level, not a tunes raster level. Okay, we're gonna patch it. That's what we're gonna do. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. I'm really not thinking today. So in other words, we're gonna take a regular my paintbrush type of situation, which is what was used to paint this shot in the first place, and just paint over it. Okay, so if we're gonna do that, we'll call this hair patch. Alright, now we're going to go to the schematic view, and I'm looking for my mouse. Where the heck did my mouse go? There it is. Oh, my Amazon order. I ordered some seaweed snacks today. So I guess we need to come back here and say Windows, a schematic. Okay, schematic. Hair patch. The hair patch needs to also be parented to Akari. That way when Akari starts going wherever she's going, this new shot will go with her. Okay? And in fact, this patch is literally one frame. And all I'm going to do, all I'm going to do is paint over it. Okay, so I don't even know what brush I'm going to use, but we'll make this up as we go along. Okay. Thank you. That's what I wanted. Actually, I want that now. B. Okay, I think, gosh, which brush do I want? Let's try this one. That's not bad. Okay. So I need to, sorry, I'm moving so choppy and slowly today. Choppy and slow is what you get when you're patching, when you're solving problems by sort of taking something that really was done incorrectly in the first place and trying to sort of kludge it together and make it work. It's the slowest thing you can do. And of course, OpenTunes just switched brushes on me. I think. Maybe they didn't. Okay, I'm going to change to that brush. And I'm going to hope for the best. Okay, that brush, frankly, I hate because it's got so much smoothing on it. If I was inking, it'd be great, but I'm not inking. I'm trying to paint. I'm trying to paint here. Do you understand? I'm trying to paint. You are making it difficult for me to paint. Who was that? That was Christopher Walken, wasn't it? Or something. Okay, that's That's a dangerous thing to say because I know that wasn't like the greatest Christopher Walken ever. Definitely not. That's a bad idea. I don't think we're gonna do that. So yeah, like I said, this is just whenever I'm doing this sort of patchwork, it's just like it's kind of funny because I just my speed and my ability to think through problems, just everything just slows to a crawl when I'm having to like deal with a kludge. This is what I would call a kludge. It's kind of a stupid problem to have had because we didn't really pin down the character design appropriately before I had gotten fairly deep into the animation. And that's, that's my fault. Brought it on myself. Didn't ya? Yeah. I brought it on myself. Okay. Okay. I want to have a little bit of a stringer. I also want to have a little bit more bangs going on. This I don't like. That needs to come in that way. So actually what I'm finding here is if I treat this painting process kind of more like inking, so I'm doing my strokes very slowly and it's not so bad. I might have to clean that up just a little bit. Actually, that's one of those sort of slightly flawed spots. Alright, so let's grab this color, but we want to make it darker and brush. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Well, this is the other thing about this is that the way I'm doing it, there is no there's no fill on a tunes raster level, which of course suggests, well, why are you even doing this in OpenTunes? Why not just paint the new picture in GIMP or Krita, or even MyPaint? Well, of course MyPaint doesn't have a fill tool either. At least not the version I use. I always use version 1. I'm one of those people. When the better version came out, I liked it less, not more. One thing I do like about MyPaint, well, obviously the brushes are pretty good, but the program was written mostly in Python, I believe, unless I'm speaking out of turn. Okay. So I have to think about this in terms of the volumes of hair. And the other thing about what I'm doing right now is if the colors aren't quite right, I got to repaint it completely because there's no fill tool, and it's not like a tunes raster level where you can change the color in the palette and all the colors in the drawing update. So like I said, everything about what I'm doing right now is basically kludge mode. But that's okay. I'm kind of just taking my time getting in the groove today anyway, so if it takes a little longer or whatever, I guess I don't really... I don't care. I don't care. You hear what I say? I said I don't care. I just don't care. Okay. These colors are pretty good. What happens if we crank the size like kind of a lot? Okay, that's better. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, that's not so bad. Okay, this color I don't particularly like, mainly because it's a little too bright and it's a little too saturated. So, I'm kind of hoping I can remedy that. That seems to have been a good choice of color. Okay, now you got to remember, she's turning away from the window. Why am I telling you this? Well, that means that she's going to have a rim light. So we are going to need the brighter color. We've just got a little too much of it here. So, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and fill this in. Okay, that bugged me. Control Z. I can deal with the highlight or the outlines later. But yeah, this brush is pretty hard to control. I guess that's the dark side of the My Paint brushes, which I'm always bragging about how great they are. They do have their less awesome side. Put it this way, of the My Paint brushes that are in OpenTunes, there are a few of them, mainly the pencil to tell you the truth. But you know, there are brushes that I like, and the brushes that are not like great or just amazing out of the box, trying to tweak them into a really good functional usable brush is quite difficult. So you see it here, trying to get the feel of the brush correct is pretty much a major pain, but I think we're in good shape. Alright, so I'm going to hit that. I'm going to go up to a really bright color here. And, you know, like I said, rim light. Okay, I'm going to give that a try. I'm going to go ahead and just save that. Oh yeah, sorry. One thing I need to tweak for sure is this. Okay, so stupid OpenTunes just switched me back to the wrong brush. Don't get me ranting again, because I will rant, OpenTunes. I will rant at you today. Okay. Alright, and how about this? Do we need any other... I feel a little better now that I'm starting to be a little looser and bolder with my strokes. I mean, I actually want this hair to be a little more on the purplish side and less in the burgundy. So, is this too much detail? Well, come on. This is anime. That's probably just fine. Alright, so let's go here. File. Save all. And then what we're going to do is we're going to jump up out of our... we're going to jump out of our sub-X sheet and look at what this... you know what? It's not too bad. I think what I'll do is just go ahead and let this cache, if you will, into memory so that I can preview it. So that means I'm going to let it render. I'm going to take a sip of my delicious H2O. When my two oldest children were really little, I used to play tricks on them, such as if they were complaining about, say, having to drink water, I would tell them, well, okay, instead of water, this time we'll let you have H2O. And then they're all said, oh, H2O. What was the other one? One time we had a loaf. Okay, so there was a loaf of bread and it was frozen. Okay, and I don't know if they were complaining about having to have frozen bread. So, brilliant parent that I am, I labeled it ice cream bread. Hey, you guys want ice cream bread? And they're like, oh, yeah, ice cream bread. They loved it. They absolutely loved it. But you couldn't get them to try it at first. Okay. So, not bad. But, and this is embarrassing. This is what I'm telling you. I'm not really operating on all cylinders today. So I kind of knew this might happen. Like I'll get into this and then completely have botched it, and this whole video today may wind up being a bit of a waste. But basically, there's too much tonality. There's too many layers of color, so it looks too smooth and actually looks too voluminous. So, it is what it is. What I'm going to do is go ahead and simplify it now. Okay, and stupid, utterly and completely, no count, dumber than a box of rocks, open tunes, switch me back to the wrong brush, which it always does. You click away, and it changes what brush you were using. What parallel universe could there be where that would ever be desirable behavior from a piece of software? I can answer that question. The answer is there is no such parallel universe. There is no such scenario. For the paint program to switch your brush just because you clicked away and clicked on something else, so that every time you click back on the level you have to reselect the correct brush, we have one word for that. Stupid. It's stupid. Yeah, that's what it is. But there it is. Okay. So I'm just going to hope that maybe I can sort of do this relatively quickly. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I guess what we're going to do is we're going to keep the colors simple and sort of capitalize on that rim light. Okay, that's probably not too bad. That's probably not too bad. The question is, do we have too many shades here? I feel like this shade is just... It's like we need a shade that's in between the two that we have. So I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna be bold with my brush and destroy that other color in favor of this new color. And again, today's one of those days I reserve the right to change my mind and completely throw away everything I did today. Because frankly, it's probably going to happen. Okay. Now, I want to compare it to my old picture of Akari, and I think we're in better shape now. Let's rise up out of here and just see what we have. Much better. Much better. It's too blue, though. It's a little too blue. I think if I need to do something about that, what I'm going to do is just add a color corrector and push it towards the red, because I don't want to have to dink with it all day. So now that we've established that we're actually in good shape, let's go in and fix it. And by fix it, I mean, please, OpenTunes, don't always switch away from my brush. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this up now. just gonna clean it up. Okay, since I'm here cleaning it up, would it make sense to push it back towards burgundy now? Now that I'm in here and doing this anyway? Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So, this color's good. So what I'm doing is I want this to be a solid color. I don't want to have 50,000 shades of shadowy adjustment here, because that's not really realistic. It makes it not look like anime. I want it to look like anime. Why? Because it's anime? Yeah. That's why. That's why, people. Because it's anime. Now, that introduces an interesting question. Is it truly anime? I mean, I'm not Japanese. Not being made in Japan. Does that mean it's actually not anime at all? Is anime, in fact, a... What is anime? Is it a style? Is it a methodology? Is it... What is it? That's the question. The answer is, I don't know. When I use the term, what I mean is animation that's done in the style of typical Japanese anime. That's what I mean. And I'm sure that if you use the term anime, that's probably what you mean as well. Okay. I wonder about that. This looks a little funky. A little funky. Funky, 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 funky. Yeah, this is a bit of a strange brush, to tell you the truth. And that's what I was talking about tweaking earlier, tweaking the my paint brushes. You know, this brush is, it's like it's picking up a little bit of... Okay, did OpenTunes literally just switch me to the wrong brush again? I think they might have. Okay, no, it's the sizing. The sizing got messed up, which of course that was my fault. See, I can't get it to tail off smoothly. I can't get a nice smooth... I want to, you know, it's like really difficult to get that nice clean whip of shape. Whip of shape. Yes, I know the language. I really do. So I wind up having to go like this and sculpt it with an eraser, which is like ridiculous and silly. Alright, R, B. And of course, right here at the end, completely ruined. Got to redo the stroke because of the way it ended, and that's basically what I'm criticizing about this brush. You let go and it just, it's a really ugly tapering. The tapering is really not good. And plus here you can see it sort of picking up the underlying colors. There's something wacky about this brush. Let's just try again. Let's get a different brush and see what happens. What do we want? Marker, marker, marker. Pen brush? Maybe. We'll give it a crack. Let's see what happens. Okay. Not the worst thing ever, but we've got to get it down to, let's size it to 0. I said size it to 0. No, it doesn't. That actually, see how that tapers? It's not a nice, I mean, and admittedly, I could adjust my tablet settings. Perhaps there's something there that could be done. But yeah, this is, I mean, look how ugly that is. Golly, man. Alright. So pen brush doesn't work. How about marker? Marker definitely doesn't work. You know, is there one brush that has a very nice, okay, that one's not too bad. That one's not too bad. Let me give that a try. Much better. Okay. We found a brush that will serve us better. It's not perfect, but it's definitely an improvement. Okay. Yeah, and that's the other thing with open tunes. It's like, okay, I stroke, nothing happens. Stroke, nothing happens. So I'm like, okay, stroke. Somebody just tipped over the ink bottle. Okay. Complain, complain, complain. Dave, if you don't like it, why do you use OpenTunes? Why don't you use Adobe Animate? Why don't you use Toon Boom Studio? Why don't you use Anime Studio? Why do you use OpenTunes? Because for all my complaining, it's pretty much, for at least the kind of work I'm doing here, pretty much the best tool going as far as I can see. I mean, Adobe Animate, not really fond of because it's all vectors. You know, it's Flash. That's Flash. That's what Flash turned into. I'm not a big vector guy. Toon Boom, same thing, vectors. Anime Studio, same thing, vectors. Clip Studio, not vectors. It does have vector layers actually, but it's more like this where you're dealing with your drawings. Problem with Clip Studio is there's no, same problem Krita has. There's no parenting, there's no translations. If you want something to move, you got to draw another frame completely. I mean, I suppose you can cut and paste assets from one frame to the other, but okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a little bit of what I think a little bit of sort of reflective sparkle on her hair will be okay. It won't make it look like I was trying to make it 3D or something, you know, which is the way it looked before. It's just nice detail. So, and then I think I'm going to really go hog wild here and just add a little bit of a bright rim light. Okay. Hop up out of that. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's probably better. That looks certainly way more consistent with the shot from the other angle. So now, let's see what's going to happen here. Let's go down here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit my stop marker here. And I'm going to loop it and once again let this cache into memory. Well, the good news is that in terms of the entire sequence, basically up to the fight, at this point I just need to re-render her hair so the shading is in there. I fixed this now today, so that's good. I fixed this with the new shot, so all I have to do now is redo this guy, add the wide shot, and then we're ready to ink and color that. Then it's battle time. We like battles. Battles are cool, don't we? We do like battles. They're very cool. They're very exciting. Okay, so yeah, that looks way better. That looks like the way it's supposed to look. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. So that means I can cancel out of this. Okay, that's it. I'm going to save this video as redoing Akari's hair, and then there will be more probably tomorrow because I'm kind of getting back in the groove here.